This is Black Fire Radio. Hamzamo family here. Welcome to the Expression right here on the Black Fire Network Media for the 21st century on the 9th day of the month of November, the year 2021. I want to welcome each and every one of us to the broadcast. I hope that your days are coming up just fine. And also your week being on a Tuesday. The week is still young. There's a couple of more days where you can get to turn around things Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday as well. This is the Expression where we get to bring you entertainment, news, and updates from around the beautiful continent of Africa. We also get to host guest artists, dancers, models, designers, and all these other young African talent, offering them a platform to also showcase what they do have. And of course, in their different lines, we do have different amazing talent from the continent of Africa. Before we start off the show, I want to remind us that we have a wonderful network website, which is www.blackhotfirenetwork.com. In case you haven't checked out the official website, please make sure you do so. It has a lot of resources that you can get to use. You can be able to find the podcast there. You will be able to find the blogs. You will also be able to find news and the shows that are actually lined up for you with the Black Fire Network. We do have other amazing shows, such as the Africa Today show. We also do have the Pan-African Bliss. We do have the Africa Today show. We do have the Black Fire Network show, among many other shows that we get to host right here. With the aim of bringing our people together from around the world, whether be it you are in Sierra Leone, whether be it you are from Senegal, whether be it you are from Guinea-Bissau, Nairobi, Kenya, Miami, Florida, New Jersey, the Caribbean, Haiti, Jamaica, wherever you might be as a Black person, whether in Africa, South America, the US or Africa. We just want to come together as a Black people and inspire a collective African consciousness and also play a part in terms of awakening our people globally. And now, of course, in case you're joining us for the very first time, my name is Spikes, and you can also get to interact with us on our social media platforms. We are on Twitter, Black Fire. You can also find us on Instagram, Black Fire Network. We are also on Facebook, Black Fire Network Radio Station. And we also do have a Telegram chat group where you can also just put in links or information that you feel you would like to share with the rest of the family. I think before we finish up, before we by the end of the show, I will have shared the link of the show, the link of the Telegram group, so that you are able to also find us there on Telegram. I understand that Telegram is encoded, so sorry, is encrypted, so your information is relatively safer compared to other platforms. I know that there has been a lot of censorship, and that is why people have, have not found the rightful platform for them to share information. Because wherever you go to, for example, on this platform we are on right now, there are some matters, and we all know them, that we cannot get to talk about. Also on Facebook as well. In as much as Facebook is trying to rebrand and change its image, and it's the perception of, the perception people have towards Facebook, that will not go, will not help a lot in terms of the perception and the reality that these platforms have brought about censorship, and they are also used as platforms for control, and also for social engineering. Right now, I was hearing about situations where people do say that they cannot be able to go the whole day without checking on their, on their social media, on Instagram, to see what's going on. They cannot be able to go a day without checking on what's going on with Facebook or what's going on with Twitter. It's like an addiction these days. But if you have to be addicted, please be addicted to rightful things. If you're addicted to reading and getting to enlighten yourself on historical issues, cultural issues, that's a good kind of an addiction. But if you are addicted to checking out and seeing whether you have gotten new likes, whether you have gotten a new repost, or whether you have gotten a new, just people tagging you, it's crazy. Because at the end of the day, that might not add a lot of value to your life. It might just get you in a system where you are actually just addicted to the wrong things, which is a problem with this new generation, or with the current generation, where people do get to find a sense of self-approval, or sense of approval, by getting on the internet and getting the numbers of likes that they might get. If you have like this number of followers, you feel that, that you are right. You feel that you have an approval of the society. But if no one likes your post, or if no one gets to engage with you on those platforms, you feel like, you are not really deserving, or you are not really you're not fulfilled in some sort of a way, that you are incomplete, or you are insufficient, which is a big problem. I want to thank everyone joining us on the stream. Make sure that you head over the network website as well. Please find us there. And also find us on our app. We do have an interesting app as well, and you can also get to engage with us on the app. It's Black Fire Network. It's available on Play Store. When you are on Play Store, just download the app. It's about less than 20 MB, so it's just a small file, but it will go a long way in terms of getting you entertained, as well as informed, inspired, motivated, and all these wonderful things. It doesn't take even a lot of time to download that particular app. Even a minute or two, even less than a minute, you will have downloaded the app, and you will also have enjoyed the experience of easy listening on the go. If you're going about your business, or you just woke up and you just want to enjoy some R&B, some hip hop, you can be able to do that from the comfort of your house, or wherever you might be at driving, by just using the app, which is the Black Fire Network app. I also wanted to give a quick shout out before we continue. I wanted to give a quick shout out to the people that have been supporting the Black Fire Network. We have seen so much love and support from the family. For those that have been supporting monetarily, we want to thank you so much. For those that have been supporting by sharing the links with the rest of the other family, we also want to thank you so much. And even for those who do support passively, you don't have to be like really active every other moment or dropping a comment. It's good when you engage with us, but if you're held up and you are only able to watch these particular shows by a playback, we still do get to understand you, and we appreciate you as it is. We shall be going back to music, but when we come back, we shall be introducing some different matters in the entertainment industry, and hopefully we shall also be hosting a guest who is Kenyan singer, songwriter, a recording and a performing artist. She goes by the name of Wavinya Williams. But before then, let's get back into the music. The name of this jam is Why by Starkey Darkos, and then we shall be right back. Let me know what you think.
Let me know. just a friend of you. Need to know if I got a chance on you. Don't waste no time. Don't be there. Don't waste no time. Oh, no, no. Don't be there. Michelle, oh, Michelle. She's a girl that's the Michelle. Michelle, oh, Michelle. She's a super fine girl, oh, Michelle. You're the only one for me. And you know you're the only one for me. You're the only one for me. Baby, you're the only one for me. So don't do like that. Don't do that thing to me. No, don't like that thing to me. Baby, don't do that thing to me. Oh, baby, girl, why, oh, why? Why, why, why? Why, oh, why? Why, why, why? Why you gotta do me like this? Why you gotta do me like this? Why you gotta do me like that? Say because I know God money. Oh, baby, why, oh, why? Why, why, why? Why, oh, why? Why? Why you gotta do me like this? Why you wanna do me like this? Why you gotta do me like that? Say because I know God money. Oh, no, no.
And that is the one and only Starkey Darkos. And of course, Starkey Darkos is representing for Nigeria. The name of the song is Why. And I understand that he put out an EP, a full EP of about 7 tracks. And we do have some of that more music with us right here on the Black Hot Fan Network. So we shall also be looking forward to sharing that with you as well. I think we have also another jam known as Don't Care, which is also jamming. He is a young, talented artist from Nigeria, currently residing in South Africa, and we always love to appreciate and also support young musical talent from across the continent of Africa. When it comes to music ratings or how people get to get music, we do find that Nigeria is doing really, really well. South Africa is also doing really, really well. So if you look at those two industries, look at those two countries, the industries are doing much better because they are organized. They are a little bit better organized, and you also do find them also investing in their music. Sometimes people think that music is just it's just a vocation. I understand for people, some people like to take music as a vocation, but which is just like a calling. It's just a thing that you're bound to do or you're meant to do. But in as much as you might think the music is your talent and it's a vocation, you still also need to put in the right investments in that music. And that is why we always keep on saying these industries in South Africa and Ghana and Nigeria, they have gotten further ahead because people are able to invest in their music. They have gotten further ahead because people also do have the proper structures that are needed for the music industry to also succeed. And therefore, you do find them doing rather well. As Kenya is doing well to spikes. No, I don't think Kenya is doing any good. But what is happening is that over these holiday, we do have so many artists that have shown their interest to come in and performing right here in Nairobi, Kenya. Some of them coming from Tanzania, the others coming from Jamaica. I think for Jamaica, there are about 5 top artists that have shown their interest, and they are going out on their social media talking about they are looking for for bookings, or they are actually getting booked for shows here. For example, we do have Shensia. Shensia is a very, very popular in Jamaica, and she has also been doing shows around the USA. I think what one? Let me just see what last state she was performing at in the USA. Um, Let me see, where was Shensia performing? And I think she was also in the United States. So just trying to see what state she was performing in the USA. Where was these? Shensia discussed the difficulties of breaking through in the USA. That was a little bit way back. Hmm. Yeah, she did have a USA tour. She was performing in Orange County, California, I believe, in the USA, and also she was performing at a benefit concert. I do not see the name of the venue where she was performing at, but she has also shown her interest in coming and performing in here in Nairobi, Kenya, and she is doing very, very well. Apart from Shinsia, we also do have what's his name? That is our Conscience. Conscience is also another popular dancehall artist. And sometimes you like to compare Kenya and other countries in terms of how people like to go party. I think Kenya, I understand Kenya only comes number 3 after Nigeria and South Africa. How people like to go out and are always, always everywhere, jumping and jamming. Kenyans, I think, comes in as number 3 comparing to all these other different places. Are you saying that outside Los Angeles? Yes, that is where she was performing at Shensia, and she has been doing well for herself. I think I would like also to applaud her for her effort. She is really, really talented, and I have seen some of her freestyles. Some people who like to compare her to Nicki Minaj or compare her to, who are some of these are the great. There's a record she broke recently, and let me just get the name of this record that she broke in her country. Let me get the name of these record that she broke in her country for her music getting streamed, and there was a lady from Jamaica. I think she put out a song known as "My Property Is My Property." What was the name of that lady from My Property? Let me see. There was this lady. My property is my property. There was a popular dancehall song known as "My Property Is My Property." I think it was from out in the 90s. But I think she actually beat that lady in terms of getting her music being played the most. I was just trying to remember the name of that particular song, but seems like it has escaped. I cannot really remember the name of that particular song. But apart from Shensi, I was just saying also, we do have a Conscience. Conscience is also shown interest in coming and performing right here in the 254 in Kenya. We also do have Charlie Black. Charlie Black is also another dancehall artist from Jamaica. And Charlie Black will also be performing on the 31st of December, the year 2021. And we also do have other amazing artists coming to perform in the 254. I understand that Kenyans like to embrace other people's music rather than even embracing themselves. I do not have a problem with people loving Caribbean music. But if at all, you were to compare an artist coming from Jamaica, they would be able to fill up a concert hall. But when it comes to a local artist, someone who has been doing music right here in the industry for maybe about 10 or so years, they might not really be able to fill up the same big concert hall or concert venue, which is really a problem because we do see our people loving everyone else from the outside, but are not really getting to embrace ourselves, which is a problem. That is why our industries are not doing as good compared to industries, for example, South Africa. Because in South Africa, they are always, creating. They are always coming up with new styles of music. They are always rejuvenating and revamping their industry. But for Kenya, you will also notice that we are somewhat stuck with the same kind of styles for music. When it comes also to supporting our local talent, there's a bit of a difficulty because, like I was saying, people like to embrace everything else that is from the outside and not Kenya music. For example, we have a very, very vibrant, what do we call it? Matatu sector. Matatu is a public transport. We call them the vans. These vans that move people from one place to another right here in Nairobi. We call them the matatus. And on these public matatus, they are actually full of graffiti. They are painted and they are nicely decorated. There's a lot of artworks on these matatus or these vans, public transport vans. But what you will notice is that most of these individuals whose graffiti is on these matatus are actually hip hop and hip hop and dancehall artists from either the USA or from either the Caribbean, Jamaica. It is very, very hard for you to come across a local Kenyan matatu which has a graffiti of a local artist. They will mostly put up like 50 Cent. They will put up someone like Ludacris, like Fat Joe, like maybe Aaliyah. Those hip hop artists are from the 80s and the 90s and also the 2000s. You will also find someone like T.I. You might also find someone else like maybe perhaps Millie J. Blight and other artists like this. But when it comes to these platforms also now giving us or supporting local talent, you will find them shying away from
I'm
painting
not
their
gonna
own.
stay long, Spikes. I'm just gonna give my opinion. Yeah, I guess you wait for your guests to show up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Uh, I think you're going by I think you're going by this wrong.
Hmm.
Maybe because when you the matatos are probably when they're putting the graffiti on the on the buses or matatos, whatever you want to call them, they're probably doing that because they're influenced by these other individuals. So that's not to say that no one's supporting Kenyan music, because I think Kenyan music is good, but for some reason you still get caught up in the tribal thing about Kenyan music. You're not support it. Every music has a season. Spike, let me teach you about music. Music has a season. So let's say in the beginning of rap was only in New York, right? It was New York, New York, New York, New York, New York. And where I'm from, LA was trying to break into it because it's LA, it stinks. LA music stinks. LA hip hop stinks. And finally, in the 1990s, the music got good enough to break through where it couldn't be denied, right? I'm not saying it was good music. It was popular music with Dr. Dre and Ice Cube and Snoop Dogg and Tupac. And so West Coast music started to take over from New York. And it was that's when you had the East Coast, West Coast fight. Because New York started getting mad. Oh, it started being tribal. And it was tribal here in America. Being tribal. These LA bastards think they can take our hip hop sound and take over hip hop. It's just that it goes to extreme. And then later, LA lost it. It went to Atlanta. It became the Dirty South. So in Africa, it's
mm,
going through stages. Doesn't mean that this is going to go through Kenya, but you can't be. It just the frequency. Because Kenyan
mm,
music is just as good. Because I would tell you that, I'm brutally honest. I would tell you the truth that Kenyan music wasn't as good as Nigerian or South Africa. Kenyan music can't compete with all that music. It's just that it's going to take its time. Its season will
yeah.
come. So be patient. Its season. Things happen. I
But
told you things happen cyclical. Go ahead, Spike. Go ahead.
also, I can agree with you. The influence comes all the way from the states, and people, all the Kenyan artists are influenced by artists from the states. Because, for example,
But the
when
whole
people were
world, the
growing up,
whole world, the whole world's influenced by us from the states, the black people
black
from the
artists,
states. The whole world. That's where your vernacular comes from. The rap came from.
mm,
It was all influence, but
mm,
the African has taken it and put his or her own spin on it. All that stuff
yeah,
came from African in the states. You listen to South Africa, you hear the influence. You listen to Ghana, you hear the influence. You hear the influence in Nigeria. Clearly,
mm,
the influence there's no mistaking it. But I'm just saying
mm.
everything
It's,
has its
yeah.
season, and Kenyan music is just as good. Because I would be lying to you if I didn't think Kenyan music was even better than the music in America is. I would say it's even
What,
better, but it's just not its
what is
time.
happening right
Go ahead,
What I've
Spikes.
realized that with the US music right now is that there are people, new artists coming up, maybe new artists in the age of 20 to 30, they are going back and sampling music from the 80s. And therefore, you would feel you hear a
Because
song
that's
and
the
then you would
best
think, oh, it's
music,
really
Spikes. Because that's the best
yeah,
music. Music is so bad. The music is so bad in America. They got to go back. And I was listening to that Sunday. I said how good the music was back in the 80s and 90s in America, the African music. But they purposely destroyed it. But I was like, how good it was. It was so good. Like, wow, it was so good. And they got no choice but to go back and sample because the music today in America stinks. It's so
mm,
horrible. So Kenya will have its time. It's just things work in cycles. Kenya will have its time because it's
mm,
building still. It's building right now. It's like it's building. So it went. See,
yeah,
um, Kenyans have an infrastructure now built because they're starting to build enough artists, right? And so when
yeah,
the season comes, it will be ready. It'll be like a blow up overnight. You're like, wow. Same thing happened in Los Angeles. Like, wow, what all these rappers come from in LA. They were already there. They
mm,
just wasn't getting. They were just not getting noticed, and no one was talking
mm,
about Los Angeles. And then when the vibe came to LA, they were ready to fill the void, and LA took off. And then that
mm,
happened also in the South. Nobody thought the South would ever be great hip hop in America. The South, like, not make it out here. The South is
mm,
backwards. So then the South took over. So
mm,
I think the mantle right now in Africa is probably in Nigeria. But
mm,
the Kenyan music is just as good. It's just as comparable. I couldn't say that if it wasn't. I would say, oh man, you guys got some kids. So when the seasons change, because things are
mm,
cyclical. When it comes to Kenya, Kenya will be ready, and there'll be an explosion in Kenya. Like, wow, where these Kenyan people come from? They were always there. Just
yeah,
to know they were always there. You say, wow, I don't know about these Kenyans singing as good and rapping as good. Where they come from? They were
mm,
always there. They just wasn't getting the exposure. So that's how music works. Music just it's energy and vibes that goes different places. Nobody just like no one would say 10 years ago about Nigeria, especially on the world. Nigeria, I don't
mm,
listen to no damn Nigerian music. What the hell is that?
mm.
So
But
I think
now I've noticed that.
goes like
I have noticed people do say that imitation is the best form of flattery, but the problem is people want to imitate black culture from the US, and then instead of it being flattery, they are like jealous of it. So you'll find people now saying, I remember sometimes Zoe saying that the women on the continent want to be like the women, the black women in the States. They want to do their hair like that and talk, in a
they
certain
do
kind of a way.
they do
But
that
they will do it.
that's bad.
They also,
That's the bad part of the culture being because it's been manipulated by white people. That's the disrespect and the Yeah, that's the bad part of the culture being shipped over to America. You listen to the like just everything like the cutting of the jeans. Because Africa get things so late, everybody's cutting their jeans up, the girls and stuff. That came from the. I actually hate to say that came from the hood rats 35 years ago, before you guys were even born. You know, it's a style now, a fashion that white people taking, but that came from people in the lower runs of financial thing in America, because they couldn't afford clothes. They said, well, let's just cut them up. The girls did that, and it became cool, and that style went all throughout the world. Only the one knows where that came from. That came from the American black girl, that cutting up of the jeans. That came from her. Yeah, there's gonna be positives and negatives with that, because as African people in America, we've been completely destroyed by white people. It's on purpose. They want to bring the dysfunction to Africa too, of course. That's the thing, is to destroy us as a people, of course.
And also,
Go Spikes.
no, I was just saying, Wavinya, if you're trying to join on the link, just click on the link that I've just put on the comments. I don't know what the problem is. You go and send, I guess, the link, but I think she's having a problem. Just click on it and I'll click enter broadcast. It's just easy. That's just one step. Just click on the link, click on enter broadcast, and we'll be good to go. Because I sent the link like so many minutes ago, but I kindly do click on the link and it just takes you to the broadcast.
Soon as she comes in, soon as she come in, Miss Williams, I'll depart. Yeah, it's the you're right, Spikes. All the bad things transfer, because I will admit, African American woman is out of control, and that's on purpose. And they did that purposely, because when you destroy a woman, you destroy civilization. When you destroy a woman, you can destroy that culture, that civilization. So they specifically in the 1960s said, how can we break the black man, the black woman up? Because we were fighting for justice, out there fighting the street. They said we got to break them up. So the Rockefellers devised a plan to break the woman from the man. It's been that way. So the black woman, is she disrespectful? Hell yeah. And the rest of the world knows it. The rest of the world knows the black woman in America is disrespectful. Oh, she's there. Okay. Let me go ahead and leave, Spike.
No, you can finish up with your point. Then we shall get into the interview.
Well, I was saying, I'm just trying to say, don't take everything in America, because we're still one people. If we understand we're one people, and it's okay to take things from one another, because you got to stop the tribalism. Tribalism what destroyed Africa, that tribal nonsense. That's how the European was able to conquer. You understand, we're going to take things from one another, and it's okay. It's okay. Take the good things. It's called, what's the good? Eat the apple, Spikes, but spit out the seed. eat the apple and spit out the seed. Take the good.
That is not a popular. Yeah. I'm saying it's not a popular idiom or saying here.
I just made that. That's not a saying at all. Like, I just made that up. That's not a saying at all.
Never heard of it. I'm just wondering.
It's not a, I just made that up. It's not a saying at all. I'm trying to give an analogy, because I know it's one sentence you wouldn't know. It's called eat the meat and spit out the bones. Take the good part, eat the meat and spit the bones out. So take what you can that's good.
You say you have to take the crooked with the straight. I think that is also somewhat.
Take the crooked with the straight, and take the parts that you can use, and that's okay, because it's good to be influenced by each other, by African people. Like I said, I think the vibe. Like I said, I think the vibe is moving to Africa now, and that's a good thing. I don't feel any anger about that. I think that's a good thing, because they can infuse some of the culture, some of the things from different parts of Africa into the music. Some things are going to be different from Kenya than they're going to be from Nigeria, because of distance, because the different areas and how things are different from Kenya and Nigeria or South Africa. I think it's all great. But let me let you go. Your guest is here. I know she's having problems. He's having problems getting hooked up. Internet.
I think it's connectivity. I think it might be her connectivity, but we hope that we shall be able to get that straightened up. But nonetheless, family, welcome to the Express Show. Thank you so much, Keith, for your sentiments as well. We shall also continue interacting with our guest for today. I think we even lost her for a second. I don't know what's happening with our connectivity. But what I have realized also is that people want to also take the negative elements as well. For example, the cursing, you will find that in Africa people don't curse that much, but the culture now has taken up that people beat.
No, because because they think African thinks cussing is vulgarity. Now, I cuss too much. I started doing that because I never used to cuss till I got in the Marine Corps. I didn't even say the N-word till I started the show. I didn't even use the N-word at all, call people nigga. I never used that word at all. People always say, you never used that word. I thought that was vulgar. The cursing, no, there's no such thing as a cuss word. And African's been made more like a child because he thinks that's vulgarity. Words do not curse you. That came from religious nonsense. There's no such thing as a word that curses you. So they say, is a word vulgar? Only we consider words vulgar if we agree to them. I think she's there, Spikes. I let her in. So it just but if it becomes like if you use the word and it's purposeful, Spikes, there's not a problem with it. Because they even say F-U-C-K, right? I try to teach you, F-U-C-K is not even a word. It's an acronym.
Consent. Fornication of the king's consent.
Yeah, fornication under consent of the king. When the Europeans, when the British king could go have sex with your wife, it's fornication under consent of the king. So sex became the term of F. That's when you say you're effing somebody, because that was the acronym. And most people are not understand. I think she's there. Why would she come back? Go ahead, Spike.
No, I agree with that, but people right now are scared. She cursed me, he cursed me, and all these other things. But I think just because of TV.
Well, it's a shock. It's a shock to the culture because, like you said, it's a reserved culture, and the African, hate to say, is more like a child. It's a child. That's why you can never have a funny African comedian, Spike, because he can't. To be a comedian, you must deal with truth. Okay, you can't deal with being reserved. You got to deal with truth. And truth in society deals with some ugly parts, has some profanity, profane. See, so until you don't curse to be vulgar. You curse maybe, and there's no such thing as a cuss word anyway. Curse don't curse you. Don't curse words. Words are not curse. How you put a curse on me?
I agree. I agree with that. And thank you for your sentiments as well. We do have a guest. She goes by the name of Wavinya Williams. I'm not sure whether we
lost her again, Spikes.
We shall take a short music break.
Go
on.
But no. Think of it. Let me just ask. But don't be gratuitous with it. See, sometimes I can be too gratuitous. Don't be gratuitous in your cursing. Use it as a tool to get people to understand. To say this is an emphasis. I want to emphasize this point. That's the word you might use. That's because we live in a profane society right now. It's like things happen in the world are profane. So we can't be chill. So we speak in profane terms. Just don't be gratuitous with it. Sometimes I go over the top, as my mama used to say, Keith, please, all the cursing, Keith. Oh, okay, Mom, calm down.
And your grandmama said, Keith, go kick rocks. If you cousin and speaking again is that Jesus said, go kick rocks. And
I wasn't cursing. I never cursed in front of my grandmother. I would never do that. But I would my mama, my grandmother, I told her to go kick rocks, and I tried to explain, hey, Jesus not real. She like, you're gonna have to leave my presence, get out of my house. I don't you got the devil in your boy. And I said, hey, grandma, go kick rocks.
Get away from my front porch. You just had to get away from my front porch after she asked you to leave. But we shall be taking a short music break, and then when you come back, I hope that our guests will be able to just join us via the link, and we shall have that small interview regarding the music that she's doing, and also as we get to update on what's up with the entertainment on the continent as well. But for the African continent, I think our music is doing for those countries. There's some countries I never even get to hear their music. For example, Eritrea, I cannot tell you any music from any artist.
They don't have the infrastructure. The infrastructure
Yeah.
is not there, and then their music is not global. No one understands the language and said the cultural dynamic. The music
Mm,
is not popular. You understand? There's a certain Kenyan music can be popular because it fits a global narrative. Eritrean
mm,
music would never be popular because it doesn't fit a global narrative. It doesn't have a global beat to it.
mm,
It has a tribal, a local
mm,
flavor,
mm,
but it cannot go
mm,
international because it's not dynamic enough. It's not.
mm,
It doesn't involve the whole African. See, it's too. I hate to say it's too tribal. It cannot
mm,
go international because it fits a certain tribal narrative area. Kenyan
mm,
can because it's universal. That
mm,
music is universal. Nigerian music is universal. South African music universal. It can transcend
mm,
its culture and its surrounding area. It can go
mm,
global. Kenyan music can go global
mm,
because it has enough. That's why African American music could go global. It
mm,
can go global because it's not culturally defined as one area. So
mm.
it has aspects of everything. Because the kid, oh, there she go. See, she made
Mm.
it back.
Let me click on this, see if we're able to converse. Yeah, probably it's a connectivity. Yeah, the music, I think it's just localized. The Eritrean music and also the Togolese and all these are different groups of music. They are so
That's
much
localized,
local.
and they haven't had exposure spikes to the
Mm,
international market.
mm.
There she go.
So I believe that is a problem. But I hope that our guests can get to hear me now. I'm not fully sure, but I am hoping that we are able to get to understand her musical journey and also a little bit about herself. But before then, we shall be playing this music. It's one of her songs. And then from there, we hope that she will have also gotten our connection. All right. The name of this particular song is Pole Pole by the one and only Wavinya Williams and Raj, all the way from the QC.
Yeah, yeah. Shaking one, take it slow. Okay, check it, feel it, tuna take it slow. Low, 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 tuna power the ball. Bulls rising, take it ain't wrong. You see, no, the damn we like what he like. Caution, caution, follow that. Move in the street, soup in the straps. So sides, he got on dry, I ain't copying me now. I'm a G now, cause the body keep that. Play too low, nigga, play too high. Let the high big baby, I'm now. I'm a t-shirt too, got shot, ball out, truck out. All I do is share, wine, and roll like a bus now. I'm looking for a good time. I'm calling my friends. I'm looking for a good time, good time. Holy, holy. Pole, pole, when you get it, when you pole, 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 when you get it, when you pole, 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 pole. I'm thinking my future flows 80. Making money, making honey on the same day. Said a lot of stuff, I ain't sorry about it. I'm the best in the game, I don't doubt it. Better than the SWAT, better than the pro, better than the floor. Everybody at the shop. Miracle, musical, mystical, I'm dumb, so tight. I'm not talking money, I keep doing money, I keep fun timing. My song so tight. When the
21st century. This is Black Hot Fan Radio.
I just drink, then party. Party it up, get started. Let's get retarded. Retarded. It's Friday. I'm looking for a good time. I'm calling all my friends. I'm looking for a good time, good time.
Really good 21st century. This is Black Hot Fan Radio. Video 21st century. This is Black Hot Fan Radio. Media for the 21st century.
Come on, babe.
This is Black Hot Fan Radio. Media. This is Black Podcast. Yes.
Strength of a woman, strength of a woman, woman of power, woman of strength, woman of power, woman of strength. I'm a woman, strength.
And of course, that is the strength of a woman. And today we do have the one and only Wavinya Williams with us on the live. We hope to get to understand a little bit about her and also her musical journey right here on the rhythms. On the expression. Hello, can you hear me? Unanisikia? Hi, Wavinya, can you hear me? I am not fully sure whether my guest. Okay. I think you might also need to get closer to the microphone. Unasikika ukiwa mbali kabisa. Welcome to the broadcast. How is your day going? Sijui kama utakaribia microphone kidogo.
Pardon?
Nasema I think utakaribia microphone kidogo ndio usikike. You're not so audible. Usikiki vizuri, utakaribia microphone kidogo. Just utakaribia microphone kidogo. Yeah. Ukiweza. Can you try get closer to the microphone because How is your day going?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How is your day going? I think it might be a connectivity problem.
Spikes.
How is your day going? Karibu to the show. How is your day going? I bet it's a connectivity. How is your day going? Welcome to the show. How is your day going?
Yeah?
Welcome to the show. How is your day going? Endelea vipi?
Spikes, can you hear me right now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Or maybe it's the
connectivity, the internet.
Saiko sawa? It's okay.
Yeah, nakusikia. Nakuuliza unaendelea vipi?
Oh my goodness, maybe it's so bad.
Ni kama hii shughuli tutaiseti siku ingine. How is your day going? Family will get back the music to see if we do get.
I think she heard you. I said her internet is just so internet's not cooperating.
That is in the coastal province. I believe it's in Lamu or Kilifi. I don't know what's with the connectivity in the Mombasa.
There's a coastal province. Was over about Mombasa somewhere.
In Mombasa, near Mombasa, somewhere there. That is why she cannot get to hear me, but I will probably set it up some other time if we are not able to set these up right now. But we did get to play her music. The second song is really nice. It's known as A Woman, and I think it's a song that gets to big up all the other women. You know, some other time we do find women being enemies of themselves. You know, they are trying to pull each other down, and that is why you find even in most countries people do say, "Oh, we never have." Yeah.
That seems to be the culture of. Sadly enough, to the culture of African women. That's something that seems to be global. That's something that seems no matter where you come from. African women seem to have a problem with other African women. It seems to be global.
But they do not have a problem with the Queen or Meghan Markle and their wedding.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
You remember when there were women leaving Nigeria and going to see the wedding, going to attend the wedding, to attend the wedding, and they were very happy that Prince Harry was
She's
married.
married a white. She's married a white man. Oh, she's living out my dream. Why can't that be me? She's living out my dream. Because you are a full African, and that's a no-no, lady. That's why. Can't be your dream.
That was the problem, man. Wavinya, can you hear me now? Wavinya, can you hear me? We might need to say these up some other time. We're having a problem. Maybe when she goes
She
back.
tried. And you said the internet is just not really good where she's at right now. She's at right now. And that's not really.
We'll just have to invite her sometime over to the studio so that we can have the interview in a much better organized way. But I was just saying that globally, women, I think that is why you always hear people talking about, oh, we have never had a woman president. I think apart from 2 countries on the continent, there has never been any woman president for the.
But they gonna vote for a woman.
They won't.
No.
The only women we have had on the continent being president is that we did have Liberia, Salif Johnson, Eleanor Salif Johnson from Liberia.
Yeah, she was corrupt as hell too.
We also did have the president of Ethiopia, was her name Zaharawi or something?
Yeah, I think she's still the president. But that's on her figurehead. She has the power.
Yeah, she cannot really say anything. She cannot really make. She does not have real power. We also did have another woman who was the president of Malawi for a few days, and I don't know, they kicked her out. Her name was Joyce Banda. Her name was Joyce Banda. Let me see, how long did the tenure of Joyce Banda last? How long?
And you can't call what's the name down in Tanzania? No one voted for her, so she didn't win any elections, so no one voted for her. It's a few days. How was she prison for a few days? Did somebody die? Was she like the vice president or something?
Who was first? Let me see how long. Joyce Banda was made history, becoming Malawi's first president and the only second woman to lead a country in Africa. Let me see. This was in 2012, but I'm not sure. But it didn't last long, with Banda's announcing just days later that let me see, Joyce Banda, she quit. She returned home to Malawi. This was in 2019. I don't think she was even there for a year. I'm not sure how long her tenure did last. How long was Joyce Banda president? Joyce Banda, president of Malawi, president. Malawi. She probably didn't even take a whole year there. A vice president preceded Bingu Mutharika. Lead to a country, the second woman to lead a country in Africa. Joyce Banda, whose film Johnson has withdrawn from 2019 presidential race, and also a leader. I'm not sure how it lasted, but she did not stay a long time while president. But the point I was making is that we have a problem with the African, African people at large, because the stereotypes against women have also put them down, and they are also looking like they're also looking like it's also a problem when you try have a woman as a leader in any country. And I do see that was Toshi saying 8 days. I don't know what's going on with the 8 days, but Keith was saying if she came, she had to take the Vaseline and she will not be around for a while. I think you're talking about the Shensia. That is a woman we were talking a little bit about earlier. But apart from that, something else that is happening right now with the entertainment industry, like I said, is the concerts that are coming up. And yesterday we were talking about an important matter where we did have people losing their lives in a concert which was conducted by Travis Scott,
with Travis Scott. We know those people got the Vaseline and their hearts exploded. So they got the Vaseline and their hearts exploded, spikes. So dealing with vibration and sound and boom, 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 their hearts exploded. So, and I met two individuals. I was in Houston. That took place in Houston. I was in Houston yesterday, talking to 2 guys who attended that concert. Said it was crazy. They almost got stampeded to death. They almost got trampled to death. They're like, man, we lucky to be alive. What? I forgot I was in Houston. I forgot the concert was in Houston. I was in Houston, like I said. The guy said, man, we were at the concert. I said, what do you mean you were at the concert? It was here in Houston. I said, okay, yeah, it was here in Houston. I said, man, we almost got trampled to death, man. It was crazy.
Tosha, yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, that is Tosh saying it lasted like 8 days. That's Malawi is the president. I don't think it lasted 8 days. Probably some weeks. Right. I don't think it was. I don't think it was 8 days. Robert Williams is saying it was a ritual. I do also tend to think that the Travis Scott stampede was some rituals because you could see all the symbolism that was going on even with the
Yeah, all
president.
the symbolism. They knew exactly all the symbolism was there. I believe it was a ritual sacrificial killer because they all knew that they took the you know what that you can't not say. They all know that they took the you know yet they know vibration and frequency now exploding their hearts. So I would agree with that as well, Robert, because like I said, I was in Houston yesterday talking to a couple guys there. And Keith, oh my God, we almost died. We almost got stampede. Because I forgot I was in Houston, like I said. They said they almost got trampled to death, and people just start falling out, screaming. They start screaming and falling. Like what? Go, it's like.
And now that the lawsuits are way too many. Wavinya Williams, can you hear me now? I am not sure whether you can hear me, but you might
hear you.
Can you?
So I'm trying my best.
I don't know.
Can you hear me?
Maybe your connectivity.
Come.
Yeah, I can hear. Okay, I can hear you. I can hear you now. I just wanted to give you the opportunity to introduce yourself. Ungependa kujiintroduce vipi? I don't know if you hear me, but if you can hear me, I would like to give you the opportunity to introduce yourself. Could you? I'm not sure whether you can hear me.
I can't really hear you.
I don't know how this is working, but I will try set these up some time if it doesn't. But just try leave. Let me just add you back onto the. Let me just try remove and add you back onto the stream so that you can find us again. Can you hear me now? I just try to remove you out of the stream and have you back on the stream.
Well, like I said, I believe it was a ritual, Robert, because it had all the rituals. See, we know what's going on in the world. Most people don't know that about ritual sacrifice, understand what these things mean and what they're doing it for and how they're doing it. Most of the world is blind to these things. So I think it was a sacrifice they were doing. Yeah, I do. I agree with you. I believe they because they know these individuals. They knew people within that concert had taken the you know what, and the sound and frequency was going to explode their hearts. So that's what happened. So I believe that all the aspects of a ritual killing, of a sacrifice to this thing we know is the devil, your Yahweh, Jehovah, whatever you want to call it. So when so I will agree with that wholeheartedly because you know. Oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to engage family also something else that is happening right here that a friend of mine was telling me about, and this is something that is happening in the 254, and this is a museum that is being constructed right here in Kenya. Some believe it might be another place where they're trying to put up a portal for those. I do believe maybe perhaps even with that concert in Houston, there was a portal or something going on. But there's a museum being built right here in Kenya, and people have said it resembles the Horus Eye. Let me share with us a video about this. I don't know why we need a museum in Kenya while we do not even have
a museum of what? What is the museum? What is the museum of what, Spikes? Museum?
It's a museum. It's called the Mashujaa Museum, the Heroes Museum. We do not need a Heroes Museum, but anyhow, money is being put into this project. I believe it's not even being built by the Kenyans themselves. It's money from the outside. But let me show you a little bit of what is happening.
Exactly. Why would somebody build you a museum to talk about Kenyan heroes? Yeah, that's suspect right there. And they would put Jomo Kenyatta is the major hero.
They might be using these as a portal or something, but let me share these with us so that you can see what's going on with the designs. And you know, the designs also matter very, very, very much. Let me share these. I look at inside the Mashujaa Stadium being built inside the Uhuru Gardens.
I will admit, boy, the Kenyans got one of the coolest flags on the continent. That Kenyan flag is cool. It looks nice, but it's not built by the Africans. I don't something fishy.
And you also
Our enemies don't build museums that benefit us. That's why the African American Museum and the Smithsonian does not represent black people.
they say that the view from above, the area view, is what has people thinking what could be going on, because the area view has like the eye architectural, the eye
It's all seeing
cinematic.
eyes. It was all in eyes. That's African. It's just that they inverted. And that all seeing eye means the pineal gland. That's African. But if the Africans haven't made it, it represents them, not us. They've taken our science and inverted it, made it evil. If the African is not doing it, then it is. It's wicked. It all depends on who's creating, because that was our science. They've taken our science and corrupted it. So if the African is not making it, yeah, it's not good. It means it's for some wicked shit. It means they might be accessing portals to other dimensions. You know, all this stuff is real. Africans gonna start realizing, yes, the things you used to talk about, accessing other dimensional portals is real. We live in a multi-dimensional universe. Like Dr. Mumby said, you go to school in Kenya, you don't know nothing about the universe no more.
And nothing is taught.
Nothing's taught about the universe. You don't know nothing. That was the main educational tool in Africa, that you know how the universe works. You go to school now, but that Kenyan flag is cool as hell. But anyway, when you go to the when you don't know the universe, you don't understand what all these symbols mean when you're going in your building. You don't know, hey, what's this building supposed to do? You don't know they creating the building, same way they did in CERN, to open up portals to other dimensions, because you don't know how the universe works no more.
And I'm just trying to see if I can get the aerial view of the one, because if you look at it from the sky, you would see. Let me see if I'm able to get that particular area view of it as well.
That they open up these dimensions, family, in Kenya. That means they're opening up portals to lower dimensions. That means they're letting beings in there you cannot see. They do exist. You can't see. So they're trying to put demons on Kenyans. You won't even know there's a demon on you, because you can't see it with the physical eye. But like,
if you see it from this angle, if you see it from this view, you can see this is the eye, this is the circle, and the eye itself from the green point here, and then this is the how the aura's eye also looks like. If you look it from let me show the aura's eye. You would see like there's a resemblance from these, and also how they have put up with this as well. This, what do we call this circle? It's like a novel, which is also found with this one.
That was called the all-seeing. It was called the pineal gland. What that is, what you see right there, that's how the brain looks. That's how the pineal gland looks inside your brain, inside your brain. It's the access, because remember, the pineal gland is the seat of the soul. It's how you do interdimensional travel. That's what it does. It allows you to move through in and out of dimensional space. So, but if the Africans not building that, that's coming from some Europeans, is there for wicketry. It's something behind it. You know, the African really doesn't know his own science anymore. So I would say, yeah, this is for some kind of wicked shit going on. I don't know. Because the European knows what is when he builds these things, what they mean and what they do. George, like,
I'm saying, kid, you remember the last time we were at the museum? We do have another national archives in Nairobi, and it wasn't even full. So why would you need to build up another one while the other one, which is very, very close, like a walking distance, does not have any items inside it?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, because all the items are in Europe. Exactly. All the pieces are in Europe from everything they stole. Exactly. You got one museum that's already open and does not have enough artifacts to even show To be considered a museum, you open a whole new museum. It doesn't make sense. Exactly. Because
This is
it's not about a museum, obviously. Go explain.
this is how it looks from the aerial view before they put up these the circles, the eyes in the middle. But this is how it looks from an aerial view. You can see this. There's a resemblance here with what I was sharing earlier with this, and they are
Find
probably
out the
making.
funding. So who's funding? What's the name of the museum? What's the name?
It's
Find out
called
the name and find out who's funding it.
Mashujaa
Who's
Heroes. Let me see who is funding. Who is funding the Mashujaa Museum? Mashujaa Museum building in Kenya. Let's see. Inside the proposed entrance, Mashujaa currently looking at the National Museums of Kenya, Mashujaa, Kenya Museums and Those Stories of Heroes, blah blah blah. Mashujaa meet the early politicians. The proposed stage of the art is an act since 1800, including the development. Popular times, all questions.
probably gonna be multi-layered. You gotta find out who's funding it. Find out because it's probably a front group, and you gotta go who's funding the front group. They gonna be it's probably gonna be layered. Take a lot of digging to find out who actually probably rock same old usual suspects, your Rothschilds and Rockefellers.
Yeah, they wouldn't really put out whose money is being used
Nah,
because you know
nah, you have to go deeper and deeper and
people need
deeper
a
into
museum right
digging.
now in Kenya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
You wouldn't
yeah,
tell
you'd
me
have
that
to go
people need a
deeper
museum
and
right now in the
deeper.
middle of the in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
For what purpose? Like you said,
that is
you'll
exactly
have
how
a
it's looking like. And
you'll have a national museum. What would be the purpose to build another one? It would not be one because the other one is empty.
they are
So
actually,
you can take whatever. Oh, go ahead.
they
You know
are
what?
actually two of them. There are actually two of them that are empty. There are actually two of them. I remember there's another one called the National
Wow.
Museum and the National Archives. They are empty. You want to build another
Yeah.
one, which you have. Where are you getting the material from? The same material you'd have just packed them up or showcased them in the other two museums. Anyhow, that is why it's a suspect that they are building this particular one with the Horus Eye. And you know there are so many questions.
Yeah, it's suspect. It's suspect because it's suspect. Obviously, yeah, it's suspect because it's common sense trade. There would be no need. You got two museums that's already functioning that do not have enough artifacts to put on display. So there would be no purpose. So this is nefarious. This is nefarious. There's nefarious purposes behind this. You're absolutely right. This is nefarious.
We shall be looking closer into that and see how that particular one goes. But I would also like to be checking out a lot more info about the Eye of the Horus. I do not know the meaning of the symbolisms are with it, but the Eye of Ra, meaning the Eye of Ra or Eye of Ra power. I think people do have different explanations of the same. The right eye, the left eye, the sun related, the moon related, the good charm, the protection charm. I think people do come up with different ways of explaining the mythology, the science behind the Eye of the Horus. That's a story we shall get into another day. The Nika Jiman is also very much into Egyptology, so he might also know a thing or two from his research on Egyptology,
yeah.
Science from the
I like to call it Egyptology. That's what white people call it. They don't call it's not called Egyptology. That's what white people call shit because they were part of Kemet. It was called African science and spirituality. No Egypt. That was white people made it. I disagree with their name. They don't know shit about it. They know how to invert it and make it evil now, but then the Africans never called no Egyptology because Kemet was never called Egypt to begin with. That wasn't the name of no Kemet. The Kemetians never called it Egypt ever. So the Egypt name is fraudulent to begin with. The Kemetians never called themselves Egyptians. The Kemetians never called Egypt. I never called Kemet Egypt. So if anything, that was called alchemy because we could name chemistry and all other African sciences. It wouldn't be called Egyptology. That's white people making up shit. They weren't even Egyptian. So the great Egyptians, the Kemetians never called themselves Egyptians. Called the land Kemet. They called themselves Kemetians. Kemets from Kemet, but they never called no Egypt. That's when a white man got control.
So I am pretty sure like now these meetings that will be held by the UN, all these meetings will actually be held at this museum, and you would wonder why they would have to host international music
But I think,
meetings at that museum.
yeah,
They would do that. Pro Africans
yeah,
call it comitology.
chematology. Yeah, they would call. Yeah, chematology. Yeah. Wouldn't be called no Egypt, nothing. But anyway, exactly right. Would never call no Egypt. That's shit Cracker made up.
It's by
I
the
would say that there's a purpose why they're building, because it's definitely not being funded by Africa. There's a purpose why they're building that museum all of a sudden in Kenya at this time when you got two perfectly good museums that do not have enough artifacts in them now. So why build another one? Because this is for nefarious purposes. Cracker knows how the universe works, how these symbols work, and I would think it's probably open up portals within Kenya so I can bring in these demons that Africans don't believe are real. They can't see them. They don't understand the light spectrum. Because you can't see it, it doesn't exist in your vision. It's just outside your purview of light. You got cosmic light, you got gamma ray light, you got gamma light, you got ultraviolet, you got.
I'm saying, you remember the lady that was working with us, her name was Resh. She actually took a tour of the museum, and we could see from the inside. I think her mom had taken her on a tour. She found a way of getting into the National Museum. I could see it was empty. It was not fully full. So now having to build another one a few meters from where the other one is, a few kilometers from where the other one is, and another one also a few kilometers from where the other two are. People should also ask themselves about why money would be used to build another national museum when you already have two museums that are not that.
It doesn't make it's not plausible. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So that would also be a question to ask ourselves. I remember Resh went onto this museum. She did a video on it. I think it's still on the Blackout Fan Network. I'll check it up, see what channel it was on, whether it's still there, and you could see it was empty. But nonetheless, we shall be taking up more information. I believe the information will also come up on who is funding it. You remember also the monument of the Senegalese monument of the Renaissance Museum. They were saying it, they were very proud of having built it, but it was not even built by the Senegalese people. It was built by the Koreans.
They didn't build it. The Chinese built that shit. Was the Koreans or the Chinese? The Koreans?
Was it Chinese?
I thought it was the Chinese that built that shit.
Senegal, Renaissance monument. Monuments. It might have been Koreans or the Chinese, some Asian. Let me see who paid for it. Yeah, it was done by. This is funny. This was actually unable to pay. We paid North Korea in the form. I think this was done by North Korea, which is funny. North Korea is able to afford to make a Renaissance big monument.
Hold on, North Korea was one that built that damn. Hold on, North Korea was the one that built that African thing in Senegal. What? Wow.
That's what they are saying. That's what they are saying. Let me see. Let me just even confirm this right
now.
North Korea did not.
African people. That just doesn't. Korea. North Korea is poor as hell. People starving, and they building shit for you. You can't build your own shit. That is embarrassing.
It's like us having Afghanistan come and build.
Exactly like exactly right. Exactly like having the Afghanis come build some big ass statue in Kenya. Like what? Afghanis.
Yeah, they did, because they say the African Renaissance monument, a 164-foot bronze statue outside Dakar, Senegal, was built by North Korea's Mansudae Art Studio in 2010. It was built by the Koreans, the North Koreans, and so I'm also
able to know North Korea. Wow.
I thought the Chinese are the South.
I thought the Chinese built it. That blows my mind. North Korea.
I thought South Korea did. I'm also surprised to learn that it was North Korea who did it. I think
when you say Korea, when you say Korea, I would say South Korea, not no damn backward ass North Korea. It's not bodes well on just African people. You got the North Koreans building all big ass monuments. Shit's crazy, man.
They're
Senegal,
saying
laughing.
the final cost of these statue was $27 million. That was the final cost. So I'm wondering where the Koreans were getting $27 million to build the monument, and also what they were getting in exchange, because they are saying what they paid North Korea in the form of state-owned land in Senegal. So they were given land in exchange for this monument. So it's also a foolish deal. Because
Whoa. So they gave North Korea land in Senegal? Probably gave them farming land. Wow. So it probably gave them farming land, Spice, because they can't even feed their people in North Korea because the land's all glaciated.
So we give you.
It doesn't come with this bad African leadership, man.
We give you a monument that does not have a much purpose, and you give us land so that we can farm and feed our people.
Yeah, you get real tangibles. We get some goofy ass statue. What? It's like the African's like a complete moron. Like you done made me more angry today, damn it. I should not even learn that. Every time I get some research in the African continent, it gets more ridiculous. Good grief.
I do see these are what they are saying, that the monuments are not for free, so they had to be paid. The president was known as Wade. The president was known as Wade. That was the 2010 president, and they are saying,
is he dead or is he living? If he's dead, dig his ass up and shoot him. Is he dead or is he living? If he's dead, dig his ass up and shoot him in the head. Put him back in the ground.
I'm not sure.
You could have built your own damn statue, you moron. The materials came from you. You could have built your own goofy statue. Huh?
They have more of them in Africa. They have more of them in Africa. They're saying these Gargantuan North Korean statues can be found all over Africa. It's not just in Senegal. So they are saying Botswana. They have them in Botswana 3 Kirigosi monument built by the North Korean firm Mansued in 2005. They have 3 of them in Botswana. I don't know how much land they had to give for these 3 monuments. And then we do have North Korea, a country known for its secrecy, isn't particularly stable when it comes to public art. From lavish political news.
Okay, so they built the one with the 3 parts.
North Korea's government. Come again.
The Africans built all kind of artwork everywhere out of wood. The Africans could have built them statues, Spikes. They built all the statues. They built all that artwork from nothing, from wood and everything else. They could have built those statues. That's what I'm talking about, man. These leaders have got to go. These puppets have got to go.
You can see what they are saying here. They are saying here, North Korea's government-run Mansued Art Studio. It's run by the government. It's a studio known as Mansudai Art Studio. Produces exuberant pro-government propaganda for show at home and also abroad. So they will go abroad, and Mansudai would come and install a 5 foot or whatever foot statue, and then you would have to pay for that. They would find ways of making you pay for that. And Namibia's government granted Mansued 60 million contract to build the Heroes Acre, a roughly 3-kilometer, rough 2-mile war memorial in the capital city of Windhoek. So in Namibia, I believe in Namibia, they also have them there. Let me see where else they have them.
They could have got their own people to build that shit. Why would you pay your own people who are great craftsmen throughout Africa to build that? See, this doesn't make any sense, man. I didn't even know this. This doesn't even make any sense. You got the best craftsmen in the world. You got the best craftsmen in the world. You can go to Kenya, Ghana, Tanzania, and got craftsmen making all kinds of stuff. They can make big statues too. This doesn't make any sense. Man. It's just like, man, these leaders have got to be just
so probably I wouldn't be surprised if this Kenyan museum is also getting built by Mansued Art Studio from North Korea.
Oh, wow.
If they were building it, and in turn they wanted some land in central Kenya to feed their people, and the government just said, okay, go do what you want to do. We'll give you some land in some part in Kenya. And anyhow, we almost winding up with the
this is absolutely crazy. These Africans, man, The leadership of Africa
When
got to be completely executed. They've destroyed that. You don't give my inheritance away because you're a moron. You don't give the youth inheritance away because you're a moron. I'm not feeding no Kenyan people because you gave me some goofy statue. That's your fucking mind.
the North Korea need their money on Monday morning. They need their money on Monday morning when they finish making that statue. They need their money on your land. And we'll be giving them the land because
yeah, they got land, but that means they get the farm. That farm produces every year abundance amount of food for them. You get to look at some goofy goddamn statue that you got to pay money. You got to pay money to keep the upkeep on that. You got to make sure it's all upkept. So it's a losing investment for you. You got to upkeep the goofy shit. They're not paying to upkeep it. You got to paint it. You got to make sure it's working right. They get abundant land and food and crops. Yeah, that's a great deal for who? It ain't a great deal for the Africans.
People even do not even realize it. I think they realize it once it has been done. So I would also go
I
back
didn't
to
even know, Spike. You didn't depress me, Spikes.
I would also be looking to see whether the Georgia Stones, the Koreans were on them, the North Koreans were on top of those. Stones doing all sorts of bronze, making all sorts of.
Embarrassing. It is embarrassing, Tash. It is embarrassing. What Spikes just destroyed me this morning, Black. Oh man.
No, South Africans, the North Koreans have a claim on African property because you owe them the bronze, you owe them the statues. But anyhow, Tosh, you saying
It made me want to go slit my own throat. Crazy.
It's embarrassing North Koreans be on Africans' affairs too. Yes, it is, and Africa owes everyone everything. Africa now owes everyone, even for nonsensical things. You know, what do you need a statue for?
I didn't even know. I didn't even know that. I just assumed that the Africans, especially when in Botswana with the three guys, the three chiefs came together and decided to put Botswana together. I just knew the Botswanans built that. No, the African can't do that. No. You got the North Koreans. The North Koreans.
They came to Botswana hungry because they couldn't find food in their country. They came over to Botswana hungry, but they still made it to make a statue. This kind. I know a couple of other statues like that in South Africa. I'm now starting to think whether the South African statues also are from Mansu Dai. Mansu Dai has to be. Let's see. The South Mansu Dai.
Wow, this is crazy, man. This is absolutely so. And you wonder why the African we're the laughing stocks on the planet. This is really crazy.
We lack self-preservation at the best. That is what we can say. We lack
self-preservation. We lack self-preservation. It's like we're suicide. Go ahead. They
are everywhere. Let me show you the everywhere so that you can believe what's going on with the Mansu Dai. The colonization of Africa through art. For example, this is one. I think they have put this up. Where is this? Let me see where this one is. Lucrative relationship with Africa. That is. Let me see which one. This is a monument in North Korea. Builds monuments around the world.
See, that's why it's so. That's why it's so deadly to have these puppets at the European, because these people are morons. They make the worst decisions. The youth will never do this. These leaders are moronic. You're dealing with idiots. Everybody knows they're idiots because they were picked because they're idiots. It's not the fact that Africans got bad leadership. They're morons. Go ahead, Spike. This is moronic.
This Mandela Mandela statue, I believe, is also by the Mansu Dai of North Korea. Mandela. So they probably will be claiming some land in South Africa. That the Koreans need that land when it's due. They need that.
You could not get no Africans who make all kind of arts and crafts
to make anything in their own countries. This is others. I don't know where is this located.
These fucking puppets are so dangerous. It's so damn dangerous.
I believe it's because people.
You see the African for some goofy ass statue. You give away the whole continent, you morons. for some fucking statues that your people can make on their own. You
Shepo has
niggas
seen
have
it.
got to take the dirt nap.
Simono has seen it around where he's from. He says, I've seen some of that bronze shit in South Africa. And now you know who you owe. You know you owe Kim Jong Un. Is it like you know who you owe the
Kim
bronze
Jong Leo, Kim Jong Un, whatever that fat slanty eyed bastard's name is.
You owe him land on its due. The South African Shepo, you owe him land on its due. The Botswana people owe him land on its due. The Netherlands people owe him land on its due. Let me see how much land they were given. Let me just check up for a fact. I think my mind
Shit's
will blow to
absolutely
see how
fucking
much
moronic.
how much land? How much?
Why we the laughing stocks on the planet with these morons?
North Korea, North Korea, Senegal, government.
That's right, Robert. From the land. These people, these puppets that the Europeans are putting in power are the worst. They're the most moronic, most backwards, most. You got the best artisans right there in Africa who can build that shit for you for nothing. Doesn't even make any sense. It's not even technical. You're not even getting no technical advance with some goofy statues. Your people build that shit sitting on the sidewalk, fucking making arts and crafts. How you doing?
Let me see how much land they tell us how much land was given to these Korean.
Feeding your goddamn enemy and shit. Getting them seeding them land where they can constantly feed their people for some fucking statue. Crazy as cat shit.
And in Senegal, I think that the Koreans might be running Senegal in the also. But let me see how much land. The Soviet Colossal Monument influence tourism. Blah blah blah. Once you die, overseas project.
I think they better run Senegal with no one statue. Give them a little land, but I think it's just the fact that they gave them land at all.
And it is
kind of dumbass deal is this? You don't get no deal. Hey, we're gonna build you a statue, Americans. We want some land. You better kick rocks. Because people we got here to build statues.
That would imagine from the centuries planning. The final cost unable to pay what they paid North Korea in the form of state-owned land in Senegal.
Got that right. Corrupt as fuck.
In the constitution, his claim. Let me see. They paid them in land, but they have not shown how much land was given by the president.
Of course, they're not gonna show it. Of course, exactly. Kim motherfucking That's the Kim Exactly. That's his goddamn name. Kim. Some things, facts I told you are you gotta use profanity. Kim motherfucking This causes for profanity because these actions are profane. Wow.
Anyhow.
Oh, wow. Is it ridiculous? Wow. When you go deeper into this shit, it gets crazier. And the corruption in Africa just gets crazy.
It means we would also have Korean agents on the continent. We would also now have Korean agents on the continent. Because, for example, they are saying in this
Africa's the treasure. Africa has everything, so it has the best land, of course. But for my spies, I know these African leaders are moronic and stupid.
I was just checking to see how many people we do have working. How many of these are Koreans we do have working in North Korea, in Senegal. At least that one North Koreans are working at the farm. Common Construction and Commerce, Senegal, according to the interviews. There are a couple of there's some.
I told you they were working on the farm. Everybody's farm. You got half the Sam crops from Kenya that you know about going to England. You got crops going from Senegal to North Korea. Africa still feeds the world and don't get shit for it. You get a dumbass statue. Look at this dumb statue. Hey.
The only question I would love to know is how many Senegalese artworks are in Korea? None of them. You will not have any.
How the hell would I buy that shit if I'm in North Korea? I got my own goofy people to build the shit. I'm not gonna hire no Senegalese to build no shit.
But I believe we would have. Anyhow, you're almost winding up. Simona, you're saying the youth has some clean up to do. I agree with you 100%. Tosh, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. Simono,
the youth has a lot of cleanup to do. Hopefully come back on the Rhythm Scoop Show, whatever show. We gotta talk to Katie. Katie, you can't be afraid. The youth have got some cleaning up to do. Spikes
She
didn't
said
even made
she's,
it worse.
she
Spikes
said
didn't
she
make.
said
What she said
she
about that?
said she's too young. She said she's too young for all of that
That's
war, and
right. No.
she doesn't want to get herself in that. And also, she doesn't want to break her nails while she's fighting. She just wants her nails to break her. But
Spikes
anyhow,
didn't made it. Spikes did undug even some more dirt. Every time you dig, it gets even dirtier. God damn it! The youth have got some cleaning up to do, Katie.
anyhow, family, we shall be right back. We shall be right back with the Rhythm Scoop Show with Kate and Azobi. And I want to thank everyone for joining us on these broadcasts. We hope that you have a
Damn,
wonderful
North Korea! I would never believe that. North Korea! Wow, I'm messed up in the head.
That Mansuda is run by the government. It's an arts agency run by the government to push propaganda on the continent and to push propaganda globally, so
Of
that
course.
people would think that there is the good coming from North Korea. I understand. Anyhow, if you start talking about North Korea, we'll even have the whole day talking about North Korea. But let me just play some more music
I
and we come
know. I'm
back.
just saying man, that blows my mind. North
But
Korea.
Steve, do you
What?
remember? Do you remember North Korea was making some fake US notes, and maybe they were pushing them on the
Yeah,
continent
they
or
still
using them.
they haven't stopped thinking about counterfeit. Yeah, they still make them. What you mean? We're making them. They still making counterfeit
Yeah, so
dollars. They don't give a shit.
they would be putting this money on the continent and be using them to make
Of
more bombs and
course. You think it ain't in
propaganda.
the continent? The Africans not sophisticated enough to know if something's counterfeit.
Yeah, they are. Let's see if I
Come back and catch them on the next show, family. Much love.
family, make sure
And
you
you're,
guys are on the other. We want to
and
thank
you're
you.
gonna have to fight Katie and Joby. Damn your nails.
He's not getting our nails dirty with the struggle, but thank you so much, family.